Hey there, my fellow home shoppers, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Project Zomboid Balanced Unstable 42, Episode 2, Picking a New Home. So I think what makes sense is to, grab the gas can that I had and fill it up here. Well, I'm not quite at the gas station yet, but it's just up the way. And then bring that over to the car that I had keys to, because I don't see myself getting any alternative vehicle anytime soon. Yeah, no car in Riverside is gonna have passenger windows. Exactly. I'm the decimator of passenger windows. Let's go grab that can. It's gonna be kind of heavy to bring that. So what else can I ditch? Dog food. I definitely don't need to be carrying around dog food with me. Can I hotwire cars? I can't. The mechanics exist in game if you have the skills, which I do not have. With all of my, like, overeating, hopefully I'm gaining weight? Yes, I am. Good. So there's 8 or so zombies at the gas station. It's not too bad. What pop do I play on? It varies from run to run. I've played low pop, I've played high pop, I've played everything in between. Vision cone is, shrinking. There goes my vision. Time to fight like we're in Nome, Alaska in the winter or something. Yeah, so far I would say that this feels like a little bit more of a balanced experience. It's hard to tell until I hit like a high pop area. Really? Flashlight? That's all you do? And don't worry, guys. Apparently this gas station... Like, I'm sorry, but what gas station doesn't have lights on at night? I don't understand that at all. So where are the lights at, man? Wow, this gas can is so heavy. I'm gonna be a broken human by the time I bring this back. What is that thing? Oh, that's the top of the... That looks so trippy. I'm heading inside to try to turn on the lights. I just don't think the station itself has its own separate light switch. Meaning it will never be illuminated, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, character's a little winded. And I'm probably getting muscle strained as a result of carrying around one jerry can. I was hoping for good magazines in here, but no luck. Hacksaw, funnel, rubber hose. So rubber hose allows us to siphon, so I'll take that for later. And I'll mosey on back towards the houses I started at. Looking for a place just to... You know what? I don't even need to sleep. I'll just keep drinking soda. Alright, I am massively over-encumbered, I know. I don't really care about the country club. It's not a fun place to loot. Yeah, there's the muscle strain. Given my encumbrance, I agree I should be getting muscle strained about now. I am holding a lot more than my carry weight affords. So heading back to that first car that I marked down. Here, I'll open up the minimap. So we are at the gas station here. We're headed back down there and get that fueled up and ready to roll. So what to do next? There's a few different things that I normally do early on, which is either scavenge for food, scavenge for books, or knowledge. Books, VHS tapes, you know, that would be the sort of knowledge in general. Or like look for a place to live. Probably a place to live. So I guess my question is, should I live somewhere in Riverside, or should I get myself out of town and go somewhere else? And I'll be pulling for that in just a moment. Seems to take less encumbrance damage than P41. Yeah, maybe. B41's encumbrance damage was pretty high. Ooh, a tinfoil hat. And muscle strain is now... Wait, what is going on? It's minor and then maxed and then minor and then maxed. That was odd. So I have excessive exertion and once I lose all this extra carry weight, that'll be nice. Oh, this is weird. Oh, there it goes. That's what I was trying to do. Carried the jerry can in one hand and the flashlight in the other. So if you haven't voted yet, feel free to do so. I'll put a timer on this of whether I settle around here or elsewhere. It'll be up to the poll. What's my battery life like? Oh, it's fine. I'll leave it on. Guess I'd never check this car. It's locked. It's funny having like holes in the windows. Locked. It's a suggestion. Here we go. Adding symbols to my minimap so I can actually see stuff. Now, knowing that farming is broken, that can... If I do live somewhere within Riverside, I don't really need to consider where to farm because there's no point, doesn't work. So what I'll do is I'll possibly find somewhere where I can ranch instead. So that will be my consideration going forward. Cool. We're fueled up. Trunk is pretty small, but it will get the job done. And I'm just going to sort through the stuff I have, so anything I don't necessarily need on my person gets put away. I'll keep... No, I don't even want any of these books for now. Looks like it is tied. I'm going to leave it up a little bit longer. So if you want to be a tiebreaker, feel free. I guess coffee is no longer kind of meta as a result of sodas being like Jolt Cola each and every one. So I feel like I'm abandoning coffee, but I'll put it away for later. As soda's like super hyper caffeinated now. Alright, looking good. Most of everything is all sorted. Carry weight's way more reasonable now. We're starting to get sunrise, which is good. I'm starting to get tired as well. Let's head... That was my tire blowing out, I think. Well, that took 0 seconds. Yep. Rear right tire just blew out. Cool. Cool. What a car. I don't have the mechanic skill to fix it. So, priority is still going to be find a working car, because this one ain't working. This fight's going to take forever, so let me just shove you down. No, I was standing on you. Stop it. Just fall over. Come on. You might not like it, but this is peak combat. I think I managed to do the full Cotton Eye Joe on his face. Alright, my character is like, hey, I'm tired. It's like, yeah, you walked a half a city block holding a jerry can of gasoline. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for you to expend that levels of energy. Well, time for me and my roommates to head to sleep. One of the advantages here is this is a partially barricaded window, so that's kind of nice. My circadian rhythms are going to be all messed up going to sleep now at like 6 in the morning, but whatever. And it looks like I am going to find somewhere... I woke up alarmed. You know what? I might be a zombie. It looks like I'm going to try to find somewhere to live within Riverside. Riverside does have, like, gated houses, which we might consider if we're ranching, and they're to the southeast. There is also the house with farmland and a chicken coop just outside of town, which might be even better. But whatever the case is, I still want to find a working car. But given my panic and the fact I'm on edge, I'm gonna guess that that scratch I got was like a fatal one. So let's grab the gas, the jerry can, and see about siphoning off a little bit of gas from here so it's not that heavy. Could have been a nightmare, true. That's why I'm not, like, just offing myself right now. So, we have a dead car here. Alright, let's put most of this away. Back in it. Just for the carry weight, because we don't need a lot of gasoline to get us to the gas station. It's like 4 liters is fine. And now we're not encumbered. So I'm going to leave all the other stuff here, so that I can come and fetch it once we have a working car. I'm just not sure if I want to... Yeah, let's go into the cul-de-sac on the other side of the school and see if we can find a car down that way. Maybe we get lucky. It's nicely updated the roof line. Roofs aren't quite as boring as they used to be, which is sweet. No, alright, my dude was just caffeine tense or something. My wound's already healed. Come on, parking lot. Hook me up. One thing that I am surprised by is, unlike previous versions, the clothing that zombies wear are remarkably messed up. Oops. In this version, compared to previous. So previously, if you found like a zombie with a leather jacket, most of the leather jackets were either intact fully or like mostly intact. Whereas now it feels like you find a zombie with a leather jacket and it's already torn to shreds. I'm assuming that's like a balancing game by game design. But like I've definitely interacted with enough jackets to say that it's like a little bit more beyond anecdotal. I'm guessing you guys have noticed the same, that like the things zombies wear are just shredded. Which, to be fair, makes sense, right? If they're a zombie, they did get killed by a zombie, which means their clothing stands to reason they got attacked and had their stuff shredded. I don't see any keys, but we'll go door to door, car to car. Let's see about trying to find ourselves a working vehicle. I don't have a black pen yet. None of them with bags or any survivor zombies. Nothing that looks like a key. Alright, we'll just pick them off one at a time. I will need to dip to like a bathroom or something for water though. Yeah, you've been seeing a lot of shredded clothing even though you're using blunt. Early game, I tend to use long blunt for that exact reason, so that I leave clothing more or less intact. And I too have been noticing that like most clothing is pretty ruined. No fault of my own because I'm using long blunt. So I'm guessing... Oh, I have keys to this van. I'm guessing that's a new thing. Is that... clothing is just ruined. So will this run? Its engine is kind of loud but decent quality. Its tires and brakes suck. Headlights are kind of bad. Trunk is bad. Seat's bad. Heater's terrible. But it will run. And that's the most we could ask for. So hopefully the tires don't just like explode on me. We'll drive this over to the original dead car. Take everything from the trunk. Top up our water. So, question. You guys did vote that you want me to live within Riverside proper. And there's a few different areas that I could consider. For living. So, let's see. There's one where I could live, where should I live specifically? A house with farmland to the southeast. So there's a house with some farmland southeast, Riverside. It's still probably within city proper. And has a small chicken coop and like a barn and is somewhat isolated, not very much. I would still be probably relatively urban. Another one would be one of the houses in the I'm trying to see if there's like a decent house, but one of the houses to the southeast of the school that is within the gated community. So I'll say gated community house. Other things in Riverside. Let's see. I'm trying to think if there's any good 2-story buildings. There's obviously the school, but I'm not interested in living on top of the school. It's not a very good 2-story. No, there really isn't any good 2-storiers in all of Riverside, I don't think. The U.S. Mail Service building has a 2nd story, but not a great one. No, I don't know. I think... Same with the Gigamart, but my feelings about that aren't any different. There is a farm to the west. So I'm just going to call it West Farm. That's a possibility. It's a little bit stretching what is considered Riverside or not, because it's pretty close to the factories west of Riverside. But I would say the factories west of Riverside are like properly outside of Riverside, which is why I'm not including them. And then we'll try some unconventional ones. So I'll include the U.S. Mail Service building, Gigamart, which we've already walked past, and yeah, one of those 5, let's say. And if you would like to see specifically where I'm referencing, I'm happy to just like show you too, if you can't make up your mind without actually seeing the locations yourself. So I put my other car key away, and I'm going to top up gas for the van so that it's not near empty, and then also fill up the other 2 gas cans. No, I never got water though. You want to see the mail building? Sure. I can try to drive by it once we're done. I'll leave the poll up a little bit longer so you can see these options for yourself. So the mail building is right next to the Gigamart. So the Gigamart is, what is this? Gas station, school. So it's this building right here. This is the Gigamart, and this is the mail building. And then this is like rows of small shop fronts. Is this an inmate? Yes. You know, if you're an inmate, you'd probably not want to keep your ID card with you. Unless that's not who you are, and that's your impersonation. I'm going to go with you're smarter than that, and that's not actually your name. Benefit of the doubt and all. I'll leave the poll up a little bit longer. About these specific options, the more urban-focused options aren't really going to allow me to do any ranching. And the only issue with that is with the current rate at which you lose weight, the meta right now is to, like, essentially just make butter and eat a stick of butter every day to deal with the calorie loss introduced by the walking bugs, I guess, for lack of a better term. So if I don't end up ranching at least cows for, like, milk, it will be challenging to keep the weight on. But we'll see. No, the building pointed out is the oh no, that's the bank. You're right. The mail building is, so where am I? The mail building is here. I'll drive by it just so that you can see it after I eat a little something. Choco cakes and snow globes for me. There was a dozen eggs. Take that. Why am I uncomfortable? Oh, probably because I ate too much junk food at once or something. Game, you underestimate my capacity for junk food. By like a factor of 10. I'm gonna see if I can't do a quick trade up. Standing next to a box truck like this makes me feel like my character is like 15 feet tall. It's like, this truck is tiny compared to what I would have expected. Well, not in luck. It's all locked. That's fine. Hey, Raw. How goes 42 for you? You know. I describe it as trying to avoid a minefield full of bugs and incomplete features. I don't know if you feel the same, but it, you know, like on my first run, I was like, all right, I'll start farming. Oh, wait, farming doesn't work. Okay, let me rethink this. I'll start, and like everything I tried to do was like, oh yeah, it's broken. So this is the mail building. Yeah, unstable is plenty unstable. Yeah, at the start of the stream, I was went on a little bit of a rant of I was surprised by how unstable was. That things that shouldn't feel like it should be broken, like calorie drain for walking or like farming or plumbing or didn't work, and that trying to test B42 without those working things is surprisingly difficult. All right, so there we go. We did a drive-by of those places, and it looks like the farmland to the southeast is going to be the winner. So let's head over there and empty out the trunk, scouting it out. And I just took a wrong turn anyway, didn't I? Yeah, getting eaten by zombies works plenty well. Oh yeah, this is a cul-de-sac that dead ends. But, one thing I was surprised, and I know there's mods, and again, I'm playing vanilla, and I'm not interested in installing mods to fix issues with the root of the game. So, for the, like, 1000th comment of, like, there's a mod for that, it's like, yeah, I don't care. I'm playing unstable as it is, not as I want it to be, for throwing mods at the problem. Isn't something we're considering. But I was surprised in the surface settings there isn't, like, caloric drain, because I would have definitely been interested in changing calorie requirements so that it's, like, reasonable? Yeah, the fact that you have to keep it up by using butter or fish is pretty rough. Yeah, it makes it so that, like every morning, you churn butter. It's like a Rick and Morty meme. What is my purpose? You churn butter. Oh my god. But my larger point was I was surprised that these issues weren't caught pre-unstable release, because they seem like so obvious to even the average player of like, dude, I've eaten 4 hams today, I'm still losing weight, what's going on? The other thing that I had noticed, just regardless of the calorie drain, is some food items don't have proper calories like calculated into them. So like an entire quart and a half of ice cream is like 200 calories, and you're like, wait, what kind of quart of ice cream is 200 calories? Like, that's not ice cream. That's like iced water at that point with a little bit of flavoring. So that's another thing that had me confused, is they absolutely ramped up calorie requirements, and then the things that should have calories like don't. That's what a club hammer. Let's see. I'm not a nutritionist, so it's kind of hard to tell. But just take my word for it. So some of the things that that should have calories just simply don't. It's hard to tell if it's like an oversight or not, but whatever the case is, hard to keep the weight up. It's bootlegged in 3/4 water. Hey, this is before the massive shrinkflation of COVID, right? It shouldn't be that bad. So this is the house you've all voted for better or for worse. So it has a little barn, has a little chicken coop. Why does it look like them chickens are covered in blood? I know there's a zombie in there, but zombies aren't by default supposed to attack animals. Maybe that's chicken poop? I don't know. Alright, I don't want to have to drag this dude, so I'm just gonna lure him. But it's a cute little farmhouse. It's probably far enough. You're an internal test group and you're surprised when the update dropped? I don't hate it. I'm just surprised that it was as full of issues as it was, because I feel like a lot of these issues, I mean, it's hard to tell without looking at the code itself. But for a game as old as Project Zomboid, because it holds the record for being the longest early access title on Steam, you would imagine that at this point the code base is relatively well organized. Maybe I'm wrong, but like that's what I would hope by a game this old. That the back end or whatever you want to call it, the actual code is not like a big old spaghetti mess. Because it's had a decade to not be that. So I was really surprised when it updated and like a lot of things that just you wouldn't expect to break broke. Because it also makes it really tricky to test in the way that they broke. Like, requiring the amount of calories that you do means that a massive amount of your time now in game is trying to fulfill those caloric needs rather than to do other things. Yeah. Yeah, I think they were just trying to push it out pre-Christmas, and I don't think I would have made that call. Interesting that there's a light that... I wonder if this draws power. Considering it can't be turned off. Ooh, welder's mask. I like that. I'm also happy that I didn't like fall to my doom coming to this basement. Speaking of bugs. You would expect the opposite. Generally, software devs with more duration gets messy over time. While I agree, having done software development, usually things are compartmentalized, for lack of a better term, where like you have one system, it works, you package it up and leave it alone. Sort of. That this is like a way over layman's terms, but you know, if let's say you have the calorie requirements of the player as like one of the mechanics and systems in the code, and it works fine, you're just like, okay, cool, and then you just leave it alone. So I was kind of surprised that things that used to work, like farming, would then be broken. It has me imagine that they like tried to reinvent the wheel for some reason. Maybe in the attempt to make like growing seasons, they fundamentally like broke everything else or something. Because as it is now, like, plants don't grow and farming doesn't work, really. And it's surprising because farming worked fine. So they had to have broken it significantly for it to not be functional. Yeah, I am describing, of course, good software architecture. And the time it takes Zomboid to come up with new updates, maybe I'm assuming too much. Well, I like this little farmhouse, so, yeah. I'm gonna, start moving in. I think what I want to do is I want to move the... Let's go ahead and try to start organized-ish. Meaning moving this thing upstairs. And then I'll have you guys vote on what I work on next. What to do next? Find books, find tapes, find tools. Yeah, really just one of those three things. You were wondering why your crops kept dying? Yeah, it's broken. So, for lack of a more complete answer, don't bother farming unless you use mods, because it won't work. Everything will die all the time. And I didn't know that when I started the farming on my last run, so... Having learned the truth, obviously I'm not going to spend 1 second bothering to do that stuff here. And then, if you do manage to get your crops from dying, you don't get experience for actually farming. You can only level up through television, which is the other half of the problem. So even if you do, like, struggle bust your way into your first crop harvest, you won't level up. So when I said I was going to be organized, I might have lied. I only have one shelf, but what I will try to do is try to make it not like a crazy mess like I normally do, and keep things roughly, vaguely together. One thing I didn't include is, like, go scavenge food. I don't know why I didn't add that to the list, but... let's see. I'll try to not do floor storage. No, as well as I can, so it doesn't get crazy. The car is relatively emptied. It's getting kind of late in the day. So I'll probably just empty this out and then read before hitting the hay. And then embark on whatever you guys want me to embark upon tomorrow. Which seems to be get tools. I meant to leave one of these ratchet wrenches in the car. Did I leave this running? Thank you for tuning in to Project Zomboid Balanced Unstable 42, which originally streamed live on Twitch January 14th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, fellow survivors.